Boris Johnson's strong stance regarding not extending the transition period past December 2020 has been praised by Emily Hewitson. Ms. Hewitson told Express that the UK fell into the European Union's trap when Theresa May oversaw Brexit negotiations. The Conservative Party member highlighted the fact the EU has begun to budge on some of the UK's demands as the deadline approaches as a signal that Britain is in a strong position for the remaining trade talks. Ms. Hewitson said, "I think we fell into the EU's trap last time round when we were negotiating the transition period. We just kept extending it and it obviously did not work. Finally, we have Boris who is strong and says, 'We are going to leave with no deal if you do not give us something,' and ding dong, guess what, we suddenly get something. The EU finally decided to budge a little bit, so I think we are in a really strong position now." During the same interview, Emily backed Boris Johnson to secure a post-Brexit trade agreement with the European Union. Ms. Hewitson told Express she is confident Boris Johnson's trade talks team will be able to secure a deal with the EU before the end of December 2020. The Conservative Party member praised the Prime Minister for his strong stance during the negotiations in comparison to his predecessor Theresa May. Ms. Hewitson said, "I think the EU is trying to scaremonger us into thinking we may not get a deal, but I am pretty confident that we will. The difference that we have between this negotiating team and the one under Theresa May is that we have made it very clear we are prepared to leave with no deal. I think that is such a good negotiating strategy because just as much as we don't want a no deal, the EU don't want it even more. So I think they will definitely budge. We are in a very strong position now because the EU knows that we are not messing around. They can no longer get away with the things they did with Theresa May." In June 2016, the UK voted to leave the European Union. The UK officially left the European Union at the end of January this year. Britain is currently in a transition period until the end of 2020 with the EU while the government negotiates a free trade deal with the bloc. Boris Johnson has ruled out extending the transition period, despite the ongoing coronavirus crisis.